The slot drama has taken a shocking new twist. Mr. HandPay, the creator once hailed as the industry's whistleblower, has started playing and promoting online casinos.
All right, welcome everybody. We are here, we are live on DraftKings Casino. Mr. HandPay. This live is sponsored by DraftKings Casino.
And he's calling them safe, regulated, and trustworthy.
You guys gotta realize, because I've seen some comments recently, when I do these lives, realize that DraftKings Casino is a 100% regulated, real casino. And they give me $25,000 for the stream, and I have to play through $25,000, and I get to keep anything at the end of it. And I usually play through a lot more, and sometimes I push it pretty hard, and I can do 100,000 and coin in. Sometimes win or lose, right? But realize the difference between this and then the other casino that I exposed, you cannot withdraw that money. It's fake. It's not real. So
the same man who built his reputation on exposing corrupt casino deals is now endorsing the very platforms he once warned against. Fans are losing their minds, and the question burning through every comment section is impossible to ignore. Was his explosive takedown of creators like NG Slots a righteous crusade? Or, as some critics now suggest, the most calculated setup in YouTube history? Think about this timeline. Months ago, Mr. HandPay positioned himself as the industry's moral compass, exposing house money scandals and painting himself as the man who chose integrity over profit.
And I said, okay, well, I'll play with house money, but can I tell my followers I'm playing with house money? And they said no. I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And they said, I want you to tell them you're playing with real money. I was like, you want me to lie to them? And they said yes. Deal was done at that point. I passed up millions of dollars because I don't want to pull the wool over your eyes.
That reputation made him untouchable, a beacon of trust in a world full of lies. But now, with casino promotions flooding his content, that heroic narrative looks, at least to skeptics, like the setup for the ultimate con. The stakes aren't just about jackpots anymore. This is about whether slot YouTube is built on manipulation. If the whistleblower was clearing competition before diving into casino partnerships himself, then every tearful confession about doing the right thing becomes suspect. The biggest gamble isn't hitting the jackpot. It's figuring out who you can believe in this mess. To understand why fans feel betrayed, we need to rewind. Earlier this year, Mr. HandPay delivered what seemed like the most devastating exposé in slot streaming history.
Check this out. 1,507,094, and here we go. National Sweepstakes Company LLC, and check this out, guys. That's a super powerful. Now let's go and deposit this at Chase Bank right there.
The number one word here is deception. Deception.
I'm shocked. I just won 1.5 million on PlayFame. Holy shit, check this out, guys. I got a max win, bro. I got a max win on $112 bet. I mean, 112 sweepstake coins spin. I got a 1.5 million.
So from your perspective, this is your sticking point. You won't progress without that.
Well, my issue is I just don't want to show anything that isn't real. That's where I struggle. I want everything on my channel to be 100% authentic.
He revealed that major online casinos offered him millions to gamble with house money while pretending it was his own. The contracts were real, the offers massive. But that's not all. He claimed he turned it down because misleading subscribers crossed a line he wouldn't cross. That confession sent shockwaves through the community. Fans praised him as the only honest voice. His subscriber count exploded, and Mr. HandPay became the moral authority who proved integrity still existed. It gets even worse when you realize how perfectly this positioned him for what came next. Fast forward to today, and that same moral crusader actively promotes online casinos, promising they're transparent and trustworthy. Critics are connecting dots that paint a darker picture. What if refusing those original deals wasn't about ethics? What if, as some fans now speculate, it was about eliminating competition and building credibility before launching his own casino promotion empire? The timing is so suspicious that even loyal fans are asking whether they've been played from the very beginning in what some call an elaborate scheme.
DraftKings just released Huff and even more Puff on the platform. So I am very excited to try this today. So here we go. Yes, and thank you guys. We just hit 1 million subscribers. Unbelievable, the Curtis family.
Let's tear apart this regulated promise Mr. Handpay throws around when promoting casino platforms. Things take an unexpected turn when you dig into what gambling regulation actually means, because the word is practically meaningless without context. In the United States, online casino regulation is a mess of contradictory state laws. Only states like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan allow real online casinos with strict oversight. Most ban online gambling entirely or permit limited sports betting. Federal laws create massive gray areas. Operators exploit constantly. And here's where it gets wild. International regulation varies so dramatically, the word becomes meaningless.
You know, I wanted to make sure I was playing with real money, that it's withdrawable funds. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, you never know. It's the wild, wild west with sweeps casinos. This is real money regulated gaming. I want you guys to realize that. And again, they give me 25 grand. I want you guys to root for me. Let's see if we can turn it into a lot of money here. So
the UK Gambling Commission requires mandatory audits and can shut down operators overnight. But places like Curacao, Malta, and Costa Rica issue licenses that sound official, but come with enforcement that's basically a joke. The dirty secret? Saying the casino you're promoting is regulated without specifying the authority is like saying your food is inspected without mentioning if it was by the FDA or your cousin Steve. Until Mr. Handpay reveals exactly which regulators license his endorsed casinos. That word is, as skeptics argue, just marketing smoke designed to make nervous players feel safe, while handing over money to platforms that could be just as questionable as the ones he originally exposed.
honestly, guys, don't believe the things you say. I'm telling you, I am going to destroy these people in court. I promise you. So all I'm doing is collecting evidence. So let that be a warning to the world. So tell you, if the things that they've said about me are true, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I'll tell you, if I was a felon, I would not have been able to do the Gigastar offering either. So
this is where everything gets wild, because there are two completely different ways to interpret Mr. Handpay's journey, and both are terrifyingly believable. The hero narrative: he genuinely walked away from millions because he values subscribers over profit. After seeing industry corruption, he researched and found legitimate casinos operating transparently. His promotions aren't opportunistic. They're sharing safe alternatives discovered through careful vetting. He's protecting fans by directing them to platforms that actually deserve trust.
there's a lack of transparency in a lot of gambling, including online casinos, mostly online casinos. This is going to be an eye-opener for you, and I'm taking a huge step.
The reason this happened will shock you. The villain narrative is equally convincing. Critics argue his exposé was strategic market clearing. By destroying other creators' credibility while positioning himself as the only trustworthy voice, he eliminated competition while building unshakable authority.
In a recent turn of events, the most telling thing to come out of all this is that despite NG Slots' nearly 11-minute video on January 28th showing bank statements, credit card, debit card transactions, deposits, emails, all in an effort to support his oddly defensive stance that he's playing with 100% real money on Paulson McLuck, starting in about July of this year, 2025, so just over a month ago, he started adding a disclaimer to certain videos stating, and I quote, "No real money involved. No real money involved." Let that sink in.
Once that trust was locked in, he unveiled his real plan: converting loyal fans into casino customers through premium promotional deals. Both explanations fit perfectly. Supporters see a reformed crusader sharing safe options. Critics see someone playing the long game. The truth depends on whether his promoted casinos can prove legitimate licensing and transparent operations. Until those receipts surface, the community is left guessing whether they're witnessing genuine consumer protection or what some fans fear could be the most elaborate bait-and-switch scheme in YouTube history. The community's reaction has been explosive, with battle lines drawn like a political campaign. And listen to this: supporters aren't just defending him, they're attacking anyone questioning his casino partnerships. Die-hard fans call him the only creator brave enough to find legitimate casino options. They argue if anyone can identify trustworthy platforms, it's the man who exposed corruption.
You know, I was offered, I'm gonna, full disclosure here, I'm gonna be very honest, so if you don't wanna hear it, plug your ears, turn it off. About a year ago, just over a year and a few months ago, I was offered millions of dollars, right? Pushing like almost 3, it was a lot of money for an online casino deal with sweeps-based Pulse and McLuck. And they wanted me to play with house money. And I said from the beginning, I wouldn't do it. I will only play with real money.
At least we know he vetted these properly, one comment read. I'd rather follow his recommendations than randomly pick shady offshore sites. They see vindication, proof he was always working toward finding legitimate alternatives. Things get even messier because critics aren't backing down. They're dissecting his casino partnerships, pointing out how convenient it was to destroy competitors' relationships before establishing his own deals. So, he eliminated competition by calling them frauds, then started promoting casinos himself. One viral comment demanded. That's, in the eyes of skeptics, ruthless business strategy disguised as moral crusading. Neutral fans are demanding transparency before trusting any recommendations. They want actual licensing documentation, understanding of his financial relationships, and knowledge of whether he's gambling with his own money. Until Mr. Handpay provides answers, skepticism keeps growing. Trust is the ultimate currency, and everyone wants complete disclosure before clicking any casino links in this chaotic mess.
Shirley said they are against you because you give back to people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, birds of the same feather seem to flock together. And when you're taking away, people's money, threatening that, yeah, they're gonna get mad at me. And I honestly don't care. I'm looking out for all of you. I chose the higher road and to not accept that money, looking out for all of you.
Here's the problem. Nobody discusses. Legitimate regulation doesn't cover promotional practices fans care about most. What came next surprised everyone when legal experts explained how casino licensing works in the influencer space. Top-tier regulators like the UK Gambling Commission require strict audits and consumer protections for casinos themselves. They focus on technical operations, ensuring games aren't rigged, money transfers are secure, age verification works. What they don't regulate is relationships between casinos and promoters. Licensed casinos can still give influencers house money, special promotional rates, or exclusive bonuses regular players never access. And it doesn't stop there. Offshore regulators in places like Curacao might issue official-sounding licenses, but promotional standard enforcement is practically non-existent. These jurisdictions collect fees and ignore when operators offer influencers deals that would shock viewers if disclosed. That's when everything flipped upside down for critics, because they realized regulation doesn't guarantee promotional transparency. Even if his endorsed casinos operate under legitimate licenses, fans don't know if he's gambling with his own money, getting special terms, or receiving behind-the-scenes compensation. Until regulators require detailed promotional relationship disclosure, regulated remains, according to skeptics, a convenient shield for practices that would absolutely shock viewers if they knew the complete truth about these arrangements. What started as one creator's casino promotion shift has triggered an industry-wide crisis spreading like wildfire. The twist? It's even bigger than you think, because Mr. Handpay's move put every major slot streamer in an impossible position. Now, the spotlight burns on creators like NG Slots, Lady Luck HQ, and Vegas Matt. Fans demand responses. Will they challenge his casino partnerships, defend their promotional practices, or stay silent hoping controversy dies? Each option carries massive risks. Fighting back could escalate drama and scrutinize their own relationships. Staying quiet looks guilty. The drama doesn't end here. This controversy created a new transparency standard every slot creator faces. If one influencer claims properly vetted, regulated casino promotions, fans demand the same disclosure from everyone. Every promotional deal faces questions. Every casino partnership gets scrutinized. Every sponsored stream gets analyzed for special treatment or undisclosed compensation. Industry watchers predict lawmakers will notice if this continues. More scrutiny could trigger regulatory crackdowns on disclosure requirements. We might see new rules forcing creators to reveal every casino relationship aspect and prove promotional money legitimacy. The slot streaming Wild West era is ending, and as some observers suggest, Mr. Handpay might have accidentally triggered government intervention that could completely transform how the entire industry operates moving forward. Here we are at the moment of truth, and here's where it all goes off the rails. Mr. Handpay's next move will either cement his legacy as consumer protector or, as critics warn, expose him as one of YouTube's most sophisticated manipulators. Evidence that could vindicate him is straightforward but specific. He needs actual licensing documentation from top-tier regulatory authorities for every promoted casino. He needs transparent financial relationship disclosure. He needs proof he's gambling with his own money under standard promotional terms. If delivered, he becomes the only creator truly practicing preached transparency. But the real shock came when experts explained what happens without those receipts. If promoted casinos use weak offshore regulators, transparency promises prove empty, or evidence surfaces showing special deals, backlash will be devastating. His reputation was built exposing exactly those practices. Getting caught promoting casinos with questionable arrangements would be career suicide and, as some fans warn, could open him up to accusations of hypocrisy or even regulatory scrutiny. This is where the story takes its most dramatic turn. The entire slot streaming economy hangs in balance. One path leads to genuine reform with complete transparency and legitimate oversight. The other leads to community breakdown and regulatory crackdowns. Every creator's future depends on whether Mr. Handpay can prove his endorsements represent genuine consumer protection or just another elaborate money grab. The biggest jackpot isn't money, it's credibility that might be impossible to win back.